Amelia walked up the front steps of her house with a big smile on her face. Her suitcase rolled behind her, still dusty from the bus ride home. She had finally graduated. After years of studying, working part-time jobs, and living in a small apartment, she was finally free. She couldn't wait to see her mom and tell her everything about her degree, her plans, her dreams. She opened the door and called out softly, "Mom? I'm home." Caroline, her mother, came out of the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. But instead of excitement or pride, her face looked blank. "No hug. No, I'm proud of you." Just a small nod. Before Amelia could ask anything, she noticed something strange. Her old bedroom door was open. Inside, her younger sister Lily was lying on the bed, her bed. The posters on the wall, the fairy lights, even the photo frames, everything that once belonged to Amelia, were now Lily's. Confused, Amelia stepped closer. "Lily, what are you doing in my room?" Lily didn't even look up from her phone. "Mom said I could have it." Amelia turned to her mother, waiting for her to say it was a mistake. But Caroline just shrugged. "You're grown now, honey. You won't be staying here long anyway. Lily needs her own space." Amelia's smile faded completely. "So where am I supposed to sleep?" "On the couch for now," her mother said casually, as if it was nothing. "You'll figure something out soon." The words hit her harder than she expected. This was her home, the place she had dreamed of returning to. But now, it didn't feel like hers anymore. She walked to the living room and sat down on the couch, staring at the walls she'd grown up around. The same house, the same family. But everything had changed. Her mother's warmth was gone. Her sister didn't even seem to care. For the first time in her life, Amelia felt like a guest in her own home. The excitement that had filled her heart when she arrived began to fade away, replaced by a quiet ache. She looked at her suitcase sitting beside the couch and whispered to herself, "I thought coming home would feel different." The night grew silent. Only the ticking of the clock and the soft sound of Lily's laughter from the next room filled the house. Amelia lay down on the couch, trying to sleep, but her eyes stayed open. Something deep inside her told her that nothing would ever be the same again. Her mom always favored Lily. Everyone could see it, even when Amelia was just a child. Lily was the baby of the family, the one who got the hugs, the extra dessert, the soft words. When something broke in the house, Amelia was the one blamed. When something went right, Lily got the praise. Still, Amelia never complained. She told herself that love wasn't given, it was earned. So she tried harder every day. When their father left, Amelia was only 12. She saw her mother cry in the kitchen at night and promised herself she'd help. She started babysitting after school, then working at a small grocery store on weekends. Every coin she earned went to help pay the bills. Sometimes she even skipped lunch so her mom could buy food for Lily. She remembered walking Lily to school, tying her shoes, packing her lunch, and making sure her homework was done. She was more like a second mother than a sister. As the years went by, Amelia studied hard. While her friends went to parties, she stayed up late doing assignments and part-time jobs. Her dream was simple, to make her mom proud. She believed that if she worked hard enough, her mother would finally see her. Not as the responsible one, but as someone special too. When she got accepted into university, she ran home with the letter, tears of joy in her eyes. Caroline just smiled weakly and said, "That's nice, but make sure you don't forget to send money when you can." No hug. No bride. Just another reminder that Amelia was the one expected to give. Years passed. Amelia graduated with top marks. She had a job offer waiting for her in another city. A fresh start, a new beginning. She thought maybe now her mother would finally say, "I'm proud of you." But when she came home, she was treated like a visitor. Her room was gone, her things moved, her place in the house replaced. Caroline's words cut deep. "You're grown now, Amelia. Lily's still a child." It didn't matter that Amelia had supported them for years. It didn't matter that she had built her own future through sacrifice. In her mother's eyes, she was no longer needed. That night, as Amelia lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, memories flooded back. Every time she'd put Lily's needs before her own. Every night she'd stayed up helping with homework. Every small thing she'd done to keep the family together. None of it seemed to count anymore. Later that evening, she heard voices from the kitchen. Her mother was on the phone with someone, maybe a relative. The words drifted through the half-open door. Amelia thinks she's better than us now, her mother said with a bitter laugh. Just because she went to college. The words stung more than anything she had ever heard. Amelia sat up quietly, feeling her chest tighten. She had spent her whole life trying to make her mother proud, and now she realized nothing she ever did would be enough. Tears filled her eyes, but she didn't make a sound. She just stared at the dark ceiling, her heart breaking piece by piece. The next morning, she smiled faintly at breakfast, pretending everything was fine. But inside, she felt empty. Her home didn't feel like home anymore. Her mother's voice no longer sounded loving, and her sister's laughter felt distant. For the first time, Amelia began to wonder if love wasn't something to earn after all. Maybe it was something that had to come freely. And maybe, just maybe, she'd been looking for it in the wrong place all along. Amelia's new job offer in another city falls through when the company suddenly freezes hiring. The email arrives early in the morning while she's still lying on the couch, the same couch she's been sleeping on since coming home. Her eyes move slowly across the words. We regret to inform you that due to budget changes, we are unable to proceed with your employment at this time. Her heart sinks. Everything she worked for, her degree, her interviews, her plans, vanishes in a single line of text. She had dreamed of moving out, starting her career, finding her own place. Now she's stuck, jobless, homeless, and unwanted. She stares at her phone for a long time before setting it down. From the kitchen, she can hear her mother humming softly while cooking breakfast. For a moment, she thinks about telling her what happened. But then she remembers how little comfort she'll get. Later that morning, Lily walks into the living room, still half asleep but full of attitude. You're still here? She asks, rolling her eyes. Amelia tries to stay calm. The job didn't work out. I'll find another one soon. Lily smirks. Guess being the smart one didn't pay off, huh? The words sting, but Amelia doesn't respond. She's too tired to fight. When she walks toward her old room to grab her charger, Lily blocks the doorway. Don't go through my stuff, she snaps. Your stuff? Amelia repeats quietly. Those are my things. My photos. My books. Caroline appears from the hallway, her face annoyed. Amelia, just leave her alone. You don't need to be in there. Amelia looks at her mother in disbelief. Mom, that used to be my room. Caroline crosses her arms. Used to be. This is Lily's home now. You're an adult. You should start finding your own. Her voice is calm but cold, like she's talking to a stranger. Amelia feels the air leave her lungs. So you're saying I don't belong here anymore? Caroline doesn't answer. She just walks away. The silence after she leaves feels heavier than any argument. Lily shrugs and closes the door in Amelia's face. That night, Amelia sits outside on the front steps. The sky is gray, and the rain begins to fall slowly, soaking her clothes. She doesn't move. She just stares at her phone, scrolling through job listings, her fingers trembling from the cold. Each listing feels more impossible than the last. Experience required, relocation needed, deadlines too close. She wipes her tears with her sleeve, feeling smaller and smaller. The porch light flickers above her. Inside, she can hear her mother and Lily laughing about something on TV. The sound makes her chest ache. For a long time, she sits there, crying quietly so no one can hear. Then something shifts. In the middle of her pain, a thought forms. If no one wants to give her a place, maybe she can make one for herself. She wipes her eyes and looks up at the dark sky. The rain still falls, but it feels different now, cold, yes, but also alive. For the first time, she doesn't think about proving herself to her mother or earning love from anyone. She just thinks about surviving. About building something that's hers. Completely hers. With that thought, she takes a deep breath, stands up, and walks back inside. The couch is still waiting for her. But tonight it doesn't feel like defeat. It feels like the first small step toward freedom. Amelia moves out temporarily, carrying only a suitcase and a backpack. She stays with her friend Tasha, who lives in a small apartment across town. Tasha doesn't have much, but she offers Amelia a place on her couch and, more importantly, kindness without judgment. At first, Amelia feels lost. She spends her days sending out job applications and her nights lying awake, wondering how everything went wrong so quickly. But Tasha refuses to let her give up. You're smart, Amelia. You just need to stop waiting for people to choose you. Start choosing yourself. she says one evening as they eat instant noodles together. Those words stick in Amelia's mind. She begins freelancing online, writing small marketing pieces, managing social media accounts, anything that brings in money. It's not much, but she saves every dollar she can. She starts waking up early, working late, and slowly building a small routine that gives her hope again. But she wants more. She doesn't just want to survive. She wants to build something stable, something that can never be taken away from her again. One night, while scrolling through job listings, she notices an online ad. Real estate courses. Learn to build wealth. She hesitates, knowing she doesn't have much money, but something inside her pushes her to click. She signs up quietly, keeping it a secret from everyone, even Tasha. Every night after work she studies. She watches videos, reads guides, and takes notes late into the night while Tasha sleeps. Meanwhile, her phone buzzes occasionally with calls from her mother. Each time, it's never to ask how Amelia is doing. It's always about money. Amelia, can you send some cash for the electricity bill? Your sister needs help with her tuition again. Every time Amelia hesitates. Part of her still wants her mother's approval, but another part of her knows she's being used. Still, she helps when she can. Lily, on the other hand, is living her best life. Her social media is full of smiling pictures, parties, shopping trips, fancy cafes. Sometimes Amelia stares at the photos, feeling that familiar ache in her chest. The same girl she once fed, tutored, and protected now looks happier than ever, while she herself struggles quietly in the background. Months pass. Amelia finishes her real estate classes and earns her certification. Around the same time, one of her freelance clients recommends her to a property firm. It's a luxury real estate company downtown, a place that deals with penthouses, city condos, and million-dollar homes. Amelia walks into the interview wearing her one good blazer and a borrowed pair of heels. She's nervous but determined. By the end of the week, she gets the job. Her first day feels like stepping into another world. Tall glass buildings, bright lights, and confident people in suits. She works harder than anyone else, staying late, learning every detail about the business. Her boss notices her dedication and slowly begins giving her more responsibility. Weeks turn into months, and Amelia starts to rise through the ranks. She goes from assistant to junior agent, and then to senior associate. Her clients love her honesty and calm nature. Each commission brings her closer to stability. She saves every extra dollar she earns. She starts dressing better, walking with quiet confidence, and dreaming about owning something of her own one day. But even with success, her heart doesn't feel full. Some nights, when she comes home to her small apartment, she scrolls through her phone and stops on old family pictures. Lily blowing out candles, her mom smiling beside her, a younger Amelia in the background holding the camera. She feels pride for how far she's come, but also an emptiness she can't explain. Sometimes she drafts messages to her mother, updates about her new job, pictures of her achievements, but she never sends them. She knows what the reply would be: short, polite, and cold. Tasha notices the sadness behind Amelia's strong front. "You're doing amazing," she tells her one evening. "But you can't fill your heart with the same people who broke it." Amelia smiles softly. "I know," she whispers. "I just wish it didn't still hurt." By the end of the year, Amelia has built a new life for herself. She moves into a small but modern apartment, buys her own furniture, and decorates it with plants and warm lights. It's nothing fancy, but it's hers. At work, she closes her biggest sale yet, a luxury condo overlooking the city. Her boss congratulates her in front of everyone. She smiles, but when she goes home that night, she doesn't celebrate. She sits on the balcony, looking out at the lights below, her phone glowing in her hand. She scrolls past her mom's number and sets the phone down. Instead of calling, she whispers to herself, "Maybe one day she'll see me. But even if she doesn't, I see me now." The night is quiet, but her heart feels stronger. For the first time, she isn't running from her pain. She's building something beyond it. 2 years later, Amelia sits in a glass office, signing the final papers for her first penthouse. Her hands tremble slightly as she writes her name, not from fear, but from pride. It's more than a home. It's proof of how far she's come. From sleeping on a couch to owning a luxury apartment overlooking the city. This is her moment. Her colleagues clap and congratulate her. "You've earned it, Amelia. her boss says with a smile. You're one of our best agents now. She smiles back, but inside her heart feels strangely quiet. Success feels good, but it's not complete. She thinks of her mother for a second, wondering if she'd be proud, or just distant, like always. That weekend, her company hosts a big celebration in the same building where she bought her penthouse. It's a grand event. Music, lights, champagne, and laughter. Everyone is dressed beautifully, and Amelia arrives in a sleek black suit, looking confident and graceful. As she mingles with clients and coworkers, she takes a moment to step out onto the terrace for some fresh air. The city lights twinkle below, and she smiles softly, thinking about the girl she used to be, the one who cried in the rain, sitting outside her mother's house. She's about to go back inside when she notices something through the glass wall on the other side of the lobby. A cleaning cart. A woman in uniform, mopping the marble floor near the service elevator. At first, Amelia doesn't pay much attention. But when the woman looks up, their eyes meet. Amelia freezes. It's her mother. Caroline's face changes instantly, shock, guilt, confusion all at once. She's holding a bucket and wearing gloves, her hair tied back under a cap. For a moment, neither of them moves. Amelia slowly walks toward her. Her heels click softly on the marble floor. The hallway feels silent, even though music plays faintly in the background. Caroline sets down the mop, her hands trembling. Amelia, she whispers, her voice breaking. I didn't know you worked here. Amelia nods gently. I don't just work here, she says quietly. I live here now. Caroline's eyes fill with tears. She looks around, realizing where she is. Her daughter's building, the place she cleans every night. The roles have completely reversed. For years, she looked down on Amelia, treated her as a burden. Now Amelia stands tall, confident, successful, while Caroline looks small, tired, and full of regret. Neither of them speaks for a long moment. The silence between them feels heavy. Finally, Caroline takes a shaky breath and says softly, I didn't know how to love you right. Amelia feels her throat tighten. Those words, simple but honest, cut deeper than any apology. For a second, she wants to hug her mother, to say it's okay. But she also remembers all the nights she cried, all the times she begged for love that never came. She meets her mother's eyes and says gently, You don't have to. I learned how to love myself. Tears fall from Caroline's eyes. Amelia, please, she whispers, stepping forward to hug her. Amelia takes a small step back, not in anger, but in peace. She shakes her head softly. Take care of Lily, Mom. I'm good now. Her voice is calm, steady, strong in a way it never was before. Caroline covers her mouth with her hand, crying quietly. Amelia gives her one last, soft look, neither cruel nor bitter, then turns and walks toward the elevator. As the doors close, she catches a final glimpse of her mother standing there, surrounded by cleaning supplies and tears. When the elevator opens at the penthouse floor, Amelia steps out and walks into her new home. She places her bag down, stands by the window, and looks out over the city. The lights glow beneath her feet like stars, and she finally feels free. She whispers to herself, I did it. Not out of pride, but out of peace. Amelia moves into her penthouse, overlooking the city. The lights below sparkle like tiny stars, and for the first time in years, she feels truly at home. The space is hers, her walls, her furniture, her choices. She hangs her favorite paintings, arranges plants by the window, and sets up a cozy reading corner. Nothing here belongs to anyone else, and for the first time, she doesn't feel the need to please anyone. She opens the balcony door and takes a deep breath. The cool night air fills her lungs, and she smiles quietly to herself. All the struggles, all the pain, all the years of being overlooked, they led her here. Her phone buzzes on the counter. It's a message from Lily. Congrats. Mom told me everything. Amelia picks up her phone and stares at the message. Part of her wants to reply angrily, to say something sharp, but another part of her knows she doesn't need to fight anymore. She takes a deep breath and types back, I hope you find your own room too someday. She puts the phone down and smiles softly. No bitterness, no anger, just calm. She's realized that her life doesn't depend on her mother or sister's approval. She has everything she needs inside herself. That evening, she calls Tasha and invites her over for dinner. Tasha arrives with a bottle of wine and a basket of bread. They cook together, laughing over small mistakes and sharing stories from the past. It feels warm, safe, and real, like a family Amelia chose for herself. As they sit at the small dining table, plates of food between them, Amelia leans back and looks around her penthouse. The city lights reflect in her windows, and she feels a quiet happiness she never thought possible. She doesn't need validation from anyone. She doesn't need her mother's approval. She's built her own life, on her own terms. Later, she stands by the window again, a cup of tea in her hand. The city stretches below her, alive and bright. She closes her eyes for a moment and whispers to herself, "I'm free." For the first time, she isn't running from pain or trying to earn love. She's simply living, and it feels beautiful. Amelia sits down on the couch, sipping her tea, watching the lights below. A soft smile rests on her face, quiet and full of peace. She knows there will still be challenges ahead, but now she has the strength to face them. She's no longer the girl who cried on the couch. She's someone who built her own life, her own happiness, and her own home. And in that moment, Amelia knows that she has truly found herself. For years, I begged for space in someone else's world. I thought if I worked hard enough, if I did everything right, I'd finally belong. But no matter what I did, it was never enough. Amelia sits on the edge of her couch, holding a warm cup of tea. The city lights stretch out before her, twinkling like tiny stars. She breathes in slowly, letting the quiet sink in. For the first time, there's no ache in her chest, just calm, just peace. I had to stop asking for permission to exist, she continues softly, her voice almost a whisper. I had to stop waiting for someone else to make space for me. And then I realized, I was supposed to build my own world. She sets the cup down on the table and steps closer to the window. The skyline glows under the night sky, and Amelia feels a sense of freedom she never imagined she could have. Her past struggles, the pain, the heartbreak, they all led her here. A gentle smile forms on her lips. She knows she has done something no one can take away. She has claimed her life, her happiness, and her space. For years I lost so much, she whispers, almost to herself. But losing my room led me to find my life. The camera lingers on her face, peaceful and strong. As the city hums quietly below, Amelia takes one last deep breath, letting the weight of the past lift from her shoulders. Fade out. Hey friends. Thanks for watching all the way through. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.